Wagwan, my people. Welcome back to the show. In case you are just joining us, karibu sana to the program. My name is Jain Wambui. We are glad you have chosen to be with us this morning. It is Entertainment Thursday, and as we always say, Thursday is the new Friday, and Dania, good morning, Kenya. And we want to know where you are watching us from this morning. So check in Pale Twitter using the hashtag Good Morning Kenya. And remember to tag at KBC Channel 1, at Jain Wambui, at Dorina Range, and at Raymond Nyara, so we can get to see your tweets and read them out loud. And at this particular point, I just want to send out love, manze. Today, Jana, I was giving out hugs. Today, I'm giving out love. And for those of you who have already tuned in, William Wamburi, manze, tutakuleta kwa show siku moja. Watching live from Watamu, thank you so much for tuning in. Let me go to my feed. Malakai Matete tuned in. I see VJ Brand Official, Ruby Blessing tuned in. Kama K Simon Adia me follow, thank you so much. Fellow D, thank you for being with us, and Devi, as well as Cosmas Mayubua. Thank you so much for being with us. Keep talking to us. Too many requests. I will convince my directors in high to slot in some of your requests. So keep them coming in. Tuma salamu. And I'm your connect today. All right? Sasa. So right now we want to get on to the next conversation, and as always, still about music, and I have two fantastic guests with me. I'll start with the lady closest to me, Laura Nzisa. Mambo Nzisa.
Poa sana.
Karibu sana, Good Morning Kenya.
Asante sana.
How are you feeling now?
I'm okay now.
Better?
Yeah, I'm better.
Good stuff. All right. And on the other extreme side of studio, we have a legend in another space, but today tunamjua kama msanii. Douglas Wakiihuri. Mambo sasa.
Poa sana.
Karibu sana to the program.
Thank you very much.
Tumeshukuru that you made time to be with us this morning. And maybe you could start by giving us your social media handles for our viewers to also interact with you.
I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. And I think, yes, you can find me on those two platforms.
Ah, yeah. Nzisa, your social media handles?
I'm on Facebook as Laura Nzisa. I'm on Instagram as Nzisa and Wakiihuri. I'm also on Twitter. I'm using the same handle for everything.
All right.
So, yes.
Nzisa.
Laura Nzisa, and for Instagram is Nzisa and Wakiihuri.
All right. Yes. So you can get to interact with her on those platforms using those handles. So we just played their song before the break, and we will be playing it again. But we just want to know you guys as artists. And let me start with you, Nzisa. You are new to the industry. You're new to with this particular song, but we want to understand your journey. How far back does it go?
My musical journey is, I come from a very musical family. My dad was a singer. My mom is still a singer in a choir in church. My sister sings, like my cousins, my whole family sings. I don't know why we haven't done.
Basically the ones who argue mukimbiana.
Like, we are that kind of a family. So apart from being from a family that sings, we all take different parts in music. Some of us are DJs, some sing with bands. So personally, I've been in the music industry like officially kabisa. I can say I started in the year 2012. 2012, after quite, you know, dancing and everything. I was a dancer before I was a singer, so.
You're clearly in the arts.
Yes, I'm clearly like in the arts sector.
Okay.
So yeah, so since 2012 I ventured into music, but now Nile unaingia studio, then you forget about it, because I did my first song in 2012. And I never did anything. Can you remember it? Yes.
Ebu tuimbe kidogo.
Inaitwa Ni mapenzi pa. Yeah. When I look deep in your eyes, Ni mapenzi pa. Yeah. Love from the heart. Ni mapenzi pa. Pa.
You have a beautiful voice.
Thank you so much. It's Grace Manzi. So after doing that song, I also decided to give up on music, went into the corporate section. So like I quit again, and I felt like, you know, this is not my thing. 9 to 5 is not my thing. So I went back to music. I've been working with different artists. I've been a studio artist, like ile unafanya watu backup and
BGVs
for events, nani, and that is just that.
As
far as it went. I never ventured further
with
from
that.
Yes, from the studio.
Now we'll be coming back to nini ilifanya you decide to step off music in the first place, because I know there's a Castoro there. But let me come to you, Wakiihuri. You know, when we see you, we automatically put you in a category that we feel this is where you are because this is what we know. But then again, this is another side of you when it comes to music. When and where did it stem from?
I think basically, if I look at my running career, I have a bit of like 3 principles. And one of the principles was, number 1 was running. Number 2 was music. And number 3 would be whatever I desire to eat. So music has been my psychological support over years, even when I was running. But there came a point in my life whereby I stopped running for a while. And I couldn't find any way out to make myself feel better. So in the course of the time that I was running, I was writing small poems and stuff like that. So I decided, why not try to do music? So I started actually in 2000.
2000?
2000 is when I started music. But what I never did, I never went to school to learn the basics of music. But I was passionate to see how can I produce music without even understanding any basics. So 2005, I was a bit knowledgeable about music. And I went back to Japan again for music this time, not running. And I was there in 2005, 2006, 2007. I did a bit of live hits in Japan and all that. But it wasn't as the way I wanted, or the way I was.
As fulfilling as you hoped it would be?
I couldn't find the right path for me. So I decided to come back. And since 2007, I've been composing and doing a lot of different things. Until one of the music that I composed was called Running with the Champions. And when I did this song, I talked to my producer to get me a vocalist, a female vocalist. So I got the vocalist and we did the song. And then now, when I wanted to do the second one, I couldn't get the same vocalist. So I asked him, fine, can you get me another one? And that happens to be Laura, who came on board. So since then, we've been working with her for at least over 1 year. And Laura has done very well, especially in pronouncing the Japanese words in the really cool terms in music. And I think that is now when the whole mix of the path that I actually was looking for came in place. And this is just one of the songs that we've done. We have a couple of more which are online that we need to let the viewers
set to be released. Kuna watu walikuwa wanaulizia ni kikamba ya wapi inaongewa hapo hivi ndani. Ngojeni wiskoyo. Let me come to you, Nzisa. You know, when you got the opportunity to work with Wakiihuri, did you even know it was him in the first place?
Not really, because you know, most of the time when I'm called to do a backup, I never usually meet the artists. So I will get to know the artist after I've already heard the final product. So I'll be like, oh, okay.
Kumbe ni
yeye. So I think the second time when I was called to do a backup for him is when I met him, and we just hit it off from the first time.
And how would you say your music, your kind of music, was incorporated in this collabo that the two of you have done together? I mean, given it was his idea featuring you, so how would you say, like, your kind of music, how you do your music, was considered and incorporated in this piece that you've done together?
Okay, so when it comes to me incorporating my style, I'm a very versatile person. So I was willing to go to a different level because I needed to understand how versatile am I. I also needed to know how far can I go, you know? So if I'm not versatile enough to actually learn a different language for me to actually sing and actually, like, what do you say, actually kill it,
you know?
So you're not versatile enough to actually say you are versatile. So him telling me that, oh, we are going to do this in Japanese. I'm like, okay, fine.
That was a welcome challenge.
It was a very welcomed challenge. I was like, yo, sawa.
Well, Kiri, did you have your own reservations about the person you're going to get on this project and their willingness and ability to actually take it on as it is?
I think normally what I do is, I know it's a challenge when you tell someone that you have to sing in Japanese, the language you don't even understand. And for me, what I saw in her is probably the transition from the Swahili to Japanese is so smooth.
You can't even tell.
Exactly, you know. So I think that is the area that I really focus most.
Yeah.
And also the acceptance and the agreement of accepting the challenge itself. Because most probably musicians will say, "More, I can't do Japanese."
Exactly.
So that challenge by itself, and we work it many times. We do the first take, we do the second, we even record and go home and listen until we get it right. So over time, she has mastered the art of now that transition, smoothing and pronunciation and getting it very quick. Sometimes it's difficult, but with patience and giving her time to digest it and you know, think about it, it works very well, and it has worked very well, you know, so far, you know, according to this song. This was our first song that we produced after so many trials. We've done other many songs before.
And of course, this opened that path for other future projects together.
Yes. And yeah, because you see, this song, basically, it's a love song. And the way our society is set up, we sing love songs to people who is still with us. When you cross over to Japan, it changes the whole concept of a love song. Because if I'm with you alive, I don't miss you that much compared to somebody who has gone forever. So this whole concept will be like more touching when you're singing to somebody who, when you're missing someone who went and you really know that he or she will never be alive again.
Okay. How would you describe the kind of music that you do and want to do in future?
For me, I think I am more comfortable with the Japanese-African mix. I really, from the day one, loved the Lingala music, the kapukas and all that. So that is the kind of beat I want to basically give try and challenge that. How well can I produce an Afro beat or Afro-Jap beat that I'm gonna mix most of the languages that are spoken in Africa, not only English and Kiswahili. We can do Kikuyu, we try Luo, we try Maasai, you know, all this, but we mix all of them in Japanese. And I think that is the path that I'm more comfortable with, that given at any time, I feel more free. In fact, composing, even when I write my compositions, you will find that when I start writing in Japanese, it's much easier for me to write a song very quickly as compared to other languages. But I think that is the way I want to do. I'm also looking into Japan. When this song was done, I sent to my friends in Japan. And I was very lucky. One of the comedians in Japan has picked it up, and he is willing. He's called Mr. Kiyoshi, and he's willing to support it and push it. And I think that is a very good breakthrough. That I was hoping that would happen, but I didn't know when, I didn't know how, and I didn't know under what
circumstances that will
happen.
Okay. Now, let me come to you, Nzisa. You know, just looking at the Kenyan space, it's what you have been used to up until this form of exposure that you've got in Wakiihuri. From where you sit, the kind of experience you've had in the Kenyan music scene, what has been the most frustrating thing and the most beautiful thing at the same time about the music space in our country? Make it very personal, by the way.
Let me make it very personal. The Kenyan music industry is a little tough. Tougher for most, you know, because Kenyans, me included, we have a specific kind of way we love to listen to music. If you don't get me the first time, you'll never get me wherever. no matter how many songs I do, if you do not connect with me, on the first time I listen to your first music,
chances will be hard for future.
Chances will be hard if I'll ever listen to any of your projects. But if I connect with you, from the first day you listen to my first song, you'll definitely want to know what is my next project going to look like. And that is a good thing and a bad thing also. Because if I do not connect with you day one, you'll never listen to my music. So I can say, yeah, that's the most beautiful and most frustrating thing.
It's a double-edged sword.
It's a double-edged sword. So,
okay.
Yeah.
And what about you, Wakiihuri? Looking at your experience back then when you were new, just starting off, and you thought you had things figured out, went to a different space, things became easier, coming back here, trying to merge the two. How has it been for you, looking at the ups and the lows?
Let me start with the lows. I remember there was a time that I was invited at Carnival, and Kenyan music stars were performing. And we were introduced as athletes, and I found an opportunity and I saw a mentor, and I went over to this particular artist, and I told him, look, I'm interested in music. He said, something we can do. But the answer that came back, I was told, like, you know,
boss, you
have to do it your own. I don't do such things.
Stick to your lane.
That is it. So from that particular day, I think I didn't break. But
that was discouraging.
Instead, I became strong, because for us, it's about losing and running. You never, no matter how you train, doesn't guarantee you that you're going to win a race the next day or your first race. So over time, I have been trying this and trying that, and I think that is one lesson that I learned, that regardless how talented you could be, it is always best to find a path that you're more confident that nobody else will ever teach you about that, but you just learn and explore it. And for me, I think I'm not afraid of challenges. I love doing things, unique things. I know that there's going to be probably critics of why Japanese, and why can't you just do Japanese?
There's already questions coming in about that.
Why can't you do only English, you know, all this stuff. But for me, I think the love I have for Japan, even if you look at the video, it can tell you that what I showed in the video is what I have achieved over time, over invested time. And that is because of Japan. That is why I am here today. I can't say that it's 100% Japanese, but it's going to be 50-50. Because I believe when you combine 50 on the other end and 50 on this side, regardless of where you might come from, it will always sound good, and it's always good. And beyond that, I think it's the time we need to break barriers. You know, we need to go to the East, you know, as compared to the West, because I think competition in the West is very high for us.
And there's actually a tweet here by Kilonzi who's asking, mbona meimba na Kijapan na natuwekea hapa Kenya hata hakuna captions to help us understand what the song is about? What would you say to that?
I think there are other songs that we listen to, like Spanish, we listen to Lingala, and we are diverse. And I believe that if you like the song, regardless what language the song comes with or is sung with, I think it's something you'll just have to get to even find out what does that mean in Japanese. And you know, for this song in particular, when you say, when I'm missing you, anata ga inakute means you are not there when I'm missing you. That is what it means in Japanese, you know? And I think if you find out the meaning of the lyrics, you already learned one extra language or one word in a different language.
So we're just judging harshly, and yet we listen to niambe ni mara ngapi unajipata ukiimba kanungo na hujui inamaanisha nini za hiyo, you know? I think we are quick to judge and not appreciate in most times. And let me come back to you, Nzisa. I also want to hear you respond in regards to that particular tweet, you know, what you feel about other people criticizing. Let's look at an example of this particular song that you two have done, incorporating a completely different culture with the Kenyan type, but still getting criticism.
Okay, just as he has said, is we are always open to listen to all different genres from different countries and enjoy the music without even understanding the language, because most of the time when you download a song, you're not downloading because you understand what they're singing about. You download because the melody is sweet to your ears and the music is speaking to you in one way or another.
Yes.
So, regardless of whether you understand the language or not, music is a universal language. Whether you understand the meaning of the song or not, the melody itself will speak to you as an individual. That's why you will always find somewhere playing Spanish, somewhere playing compa, playing this other, other languages, and you're like, let me dance to this. So it is just the same. We're just crossing borders.
Let's employ the same principle here.
Exactly.
Take the effort to go translate for yourself. We are having a conversation with Nzisa and Wakiihuri in regards to this project that they have done together. We want to take a break, but we'll be right back to finish up with this conversation as we get to play for you that song that you have been seeing interludes mid-interview. So stay with us. We'll be right back.